Loud. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are joined by Allison Reed of Allison's Cleaning Company. It's still Allison's Cleaning Company, right?
It's Allison's cleaning service and it's Allison Redman.
Allison Redman. Sorry.
Yeah.
I have your name wrong. I don't know why I have that. Sorry about that.
No, all good. No worries.
And we're going to talk a little bit about her growth that she's seen in the last couple years. And then we're going to also talk about this historical building, this train station that we're all intrigued by, how she landed the contract, what's included in the cleaning, and all the stuff that comes along with that.
With the
And
growth, right?
with the growth, yes.
Yeah,
So, Jamie, why don't you ask the first couple of questions to Miss?
I would love to. So a lot of our listeners are very new into this, and they have them. We're in their ear right now as they're cleaning, and they want to know a lot of the feedback that I receive from everybody is they want to know how we start growing into where you're at right now. So what you started off as probably a solo cleaner. Am I wrong in that?
Correct.
Or
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm a single mother and I moved here to Ellensburg not knowing a single person here, just knowing that this is kind of the lifestyle and the community that I wanted to surround myself with. But I just took a huge leap of faith. I reached out to the something called Ellensburg Connect. Which is a local Facebook page, and asked them, hey, how would my cleaning business fare in your area? Would you guys be looking for a cleaner? And the response was overwhelming. And so I moved over here. I opened up my business, and it just, and as a lot of people will say, you start off with word of mouth. You go in and you just introduce yourself to the community. Always check it on those Facebook pages, community pages, things like that. And that's exactly what I did. And it within a matter of a week, I was already already in and had a couple clients, and then it picked up, and from just from that, and people giving me reviews, and to getting my first commercial account, which was just a small office building. And that as soon as I got that, I knew, I was like, hey, that's kind of the direction I personally want to go in. I really enjoy cleaning offices. Especially, you can make your own, just you can go in the evening time, basically anytime after they close their doors on Friday, and then you get there before Monday morning, you're good.
yeah,
So,
right. Or before morning time. That's what I always
mhm,
tell my employees.
mhm.
I only put that down on 5:30 as a suggestion, but if you get it done before they hit the door in the morning time, I really don't care what time. So
Yeah,
they've been going in at 11, 12. If that works for them, that's cool. So
yeah,
yep, I understand
yeah.
that. So
Yep.
how long did it take before you started gaining traction and was like, whoa, I think I need some help here? Like when was like,
So yeah, it was a couple of years, but I still like bear through. I was afraid. I was so afraid to hire, and I'm just a
yep,
glutton for punishment. I just seem to, and I kept going and kept going. My body just I couldn't move anymore. Like I'd
yeah,
get out of my car
here,
and like I'd be stuck in that position, and
We've
just
all been there.
just
I
yeah,
know.
just tired. And then yeah, like hiring was probably my biggest hump to get over. But I think it's been let's see, it was last fall when I hired 8 new employees. um
For the first
and
time ever, right? That was like the first step into the pond, so to speak.
Yeah,
correct.
well, you just went from 0 to 8.
Well, so okay, no,
Was it
I
a
did
trial
hire a
and
couple.
error?
Yeah,
I'm
no, I did.
impressed.
Yeah, I did hire a couple at first, and then it was 8 over the period of just a few months because I landed the train station, And then, and I didn't know exactly what the train station was going to look like for me. And I just knew that it was 10,500 square feet, and it's 3 stories, and it's, like
And you
it
knew you
needs to
needed
be
a
like
crew.
5-star hotel quality clean. Like it just, like that you need to polish the brass and all that good stuff. So I was like, I
Was
didn't
it
know what it looked
chandeliers
like. So
and
I was like, I'm gonna hire 6 people. Hire 6 people to get the train station done. It was twice a
no,
week.
no,
So
yeah, you
um
pivoted and was like it was forced because I think that a lot of people that is they just are so scared to hire,
right.
and the only way that we are ever going to grow, unfortunately, but absolutely fortunately down the road, is you
Mhm.
got to learn, and it is a learning process.
It is.
Hire,
Yeah,
to
it is.
hire and fire.
It
It's
is.
all a part of that.
It is.
And you can't be afraid once it goes wrong the first time, like, oh, I'm done. You
Right.
just,
And I think,
I
that's one of
really,
the biggest things for me is that one of my old bosses a long time ago told me, you can't be afraid of a nosebleed. Just get out there and, get your knees dirty, get a nosebleed or two, and dust yourself off and get up and, dive in. Just know that there's water there, and,
you're not gonna
dive in.
die.
You're gonna be
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Jump
This
in,
is
and
where
yeah,
this
and
is
that
where it separates. I I believe, right?
yeah,
It separates from the solo cleaner to going really doing the real big stuff. We're
correct.
getting more into the higher six figures,
Yeah,
almost seven figures.
yeah.
So how was it that you landed? So you ended up having to hire because real fast
Uh-huh.
because you how did you get this contract? What did they reach out to you or
Yeah,
even
so
the
the
train station? And I've
so the business that has the train station reached out to me, not in regards to the train station, but to other small projects that they had going on. And so I started cleaning like apartments for them, and one of their other businesses that's smaller. And another company had the train station, and I don't know how long they had it, but I felt like that was just kind of like, a dream in the background somewhere, like, hey, I would love to
you're,
have the train station. And I put it in their ear. I straight up asked them, just like, hey, who's, cleaning the train station? Like, is there,
hey, hey,
are you
hey,
guys ever gonna have a need for that? And they're like, well, we're in contract. And they told me, so it took a while that I was with them. Um and then I just kind of kept planting that seed with them. And then it took about a year of talks. Um
And that's
with-
because usually commercials are always under contract and they have to
correct.
fulfill those contracts
Mhm.
before I see it all the time in the groups. How do we get more commercial clients? And it's like, well, you do exactly that. You keep planting seeds and then wait for that contract to fall off.
Right, be the squeaky wheel.
There it is.
The
There
And
it
squeaky
is.
you
wheel.
have to ask. I think a lot of us forget that you have, if you want it, you need to ask for it.
Mhm.
Just like with
Yeah,
cleaning clients, what's holding you back from making a decision today? And then how many times have we heard, well, I need to discuss this with my husband. Oh, it's a price thing. Well, what other quotes have you gotten? That you have to kind of lead in with other questions so that you are prepared to have that pushback for any sort of property, whether it's residential or commercial. But yeah, I agree.
yeah, absolutely. Yep, you
So
got to put
you
yourself out
got,
there, be the squeaky wheel.
yeah, closed mouths
Hmm.
don't get fed,
Right.
right?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
you get in there, you're like, okay, I got the job. Now it's like, okay, I got to get people. I need people now to help me.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you're like, here, you take a rag, you take a bucket, you over there, you over there. How
Well,
did
I
that
mean,
sound? What did it
yeah.
look like for you?
Well, honestly, when we first got the train station, I had all hands on deck because we scheduled an initial deep clean on it.
Yeah,
And that was it was our big day. We walk in and exactly, hand everybody a rag. Here's what we're gonna do. You go in, you make a game plan, and you go with it, and they have a lot of like glass booths inside of it as well. And so it's set up for their office spaces. So there's like we had to do all the fingerprints on all of the booths. And yeah, and you walk in and it's like chandeliers and terrazzo floors and antique wood benches that are,
What is
you
the
know,
age of the train station?
the train station was built in 1910.
Okay.
Yeah. And the benches inside of the building were made in 1901, and they're
Wow.
these large wooden double-sided benches that are just with intricate woodwork on them, and they're just stunning. And then there's just woodwork everywhere and giant chandeliers and just all the glam of that era that is just you just feel it as soon as you walk in the door. It's stunning. It's a beautiful place.
oh,
And
yes.
yeah, and I definitely did a lot of research. I just, how do I clean terrazzo flooring? Like what's the
Yeah,
best for terrazzo flooring? What's how do I clean chandeliers?
yeah,
Just
the
um,
chandeliers. Oh,
just I ran it through my head a million times, just making sure that I'm bringing all the right product. I'm telling all my employees, like this is what we use, this is what we don't use, and and making sure that I have the caddies stocked with only things that we are going to be using
for
for the
this,
train station and things
right?
that, like anything that's not a pH neutral could damage the floors. So we went and with salsas and just made sure and just used that on the floors and there's other products that we use that pH and stuff like that, but it was just getting all of that together and how what am I going to use on this wood and the wood doors and so just get it was a big thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
of course it was, because you
And
wouldn't want to be the one to see the,
yeah.
you
But
know?
it was a really
I-
big happy day. Like everybody just kind of fell into place
Oh,
and
I love it whenever it flows like that. And there's times whenever it flows, and there's times whenever it doesn't flow like that sometimes. And it's
right.
like, what do you mean? What do you do? What do you mean? What do
Yeah.
you mean? We've been
Yeah.
here for a while now, and what do you mean you don't know what do you want me to do now?
Well,
So,
no one wants to be the person that ruins a piece of antiquity. We have
Yeah.
a couple of clients that have
a
like
lot of pressure.
Picassos and Renoirs and pieces of fine art that really should be in a museum. And there's a whole
Right.
protocol that has to be followed. And if not, I'm like, don't come back. Don't come back and tell me you hurt something, because most of the time it's not repairable. The insurance will only
Right,
cover a certain percentage of it. And then
right.
you'll be blamed with the reputation of ruining whatever that
Yes.
was.
It's
And
so much
nobody wants that, right?
it's so scary.
It is.
It's
It
so
It
can be
is.
like,
It's a
scary. And
oh,
lot
that's
of
why I
don't do
was
that.
like,
pressure.
Don't do that.
yeah, that's why I was like, there's
And
nothing going in this caddy. Like,
yes, yes,
I'm
I'll
not
make the
bringing
caddies for
anything with
you.
me that's gonna ruin something. And
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Right. I just the other day went through our office, and I started taking there's stuff that you don't use, that I had
Right.
stars in my eye from years ago, and I'm like, why is this still here? This is not even being used. It's on the shelf. I'm like, I'm taking everything that none of this gets used. And then I put a note, do not use. I'm going to donate it to somebody actually that is, um, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You're making up their caddies for them.
Right. Well, I decided, as soon as I hired employees, even before the train station, that it's good to just have the caddy stock. Like I don't use magic erasers and things like that. So there's just certain things that I don't use in my business because I know they can damage things and I know that things can get done without them. And so I would rather just do the training on how we can do it without that. And then have it in there and have somebody, just use it on something that's going to get damaged.
I took the finish off this 100-year-old bench right here.
Oh,
It
I
had
used this
scratch, I was just
on
rubbing it off, sorry.
or yeah, I just used this on some stainless steel and,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
those it made some swirls. Oh, you just took the what are you doing? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it
Yeah. Yep. So it's my policy that we don't use any products outside of what's in the caddy. We
whatever
don't use anything that we find on site. You only what we have in our caddy, that's what we use.
on
So,
site.
yeah. Yeah.
Right,
I've had people try it. Like,
yeah.
oh yeah, I found it under the sink. I'm like, no,
So
no,
I imagine everybody, one of the big questions a lot of people are going to ask is, how did you bid this job?
so
I
so
heard
right.
a 10,500 square foot commercial job, but a lot of intricate detailing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so I could tell you that I asked right away, and that's one of my biggest things is I ask. I always ask
Me too.
I ask what they're being charged by the cleaning company before me. I always ask and I always get an answer. It's like people don't and
They
and
have
it's funny.
no
And
purpose.
I usually just and honestly and you should probably go to Shannon if you're for advice on how to bid your things because it's probably not gonna work for everybody. But it's what I do. I ask and then I go up. I go up
Yeah,
there. I know
okay.
I'm gonna provide a better service. So
Yeah,
here,
because you
but
know
I
that you're
think in
gonna
my
nail
head,
it.
how is this gonna be fair? Um, you know, how is this gonna be fair but work for me at the same time? And so I do the numbers. I I increase it per, just inflation or whatever the year, has brought. And I'm thinking, they've been there for X amount of years and are they upping the price? And so I just, and I put it out there and yeah, I send off my bid and but yeah, this in this case I did get underbid by somebody else.
Oh,
And yeah, and I was pretty sure that I was coming in at the price. In fact, I almost lost the train station, you guys. It was so sad. It was so sad. I had worked
Oh,
on
you
this
had it
with
in your
well, they changed over the CEO and a couple new
ah.
people came in right at the time, but I had been working on this for like a year. Like I had had my bid in
it was a
for
long process.
over 6 months. I had, and they're like, yeah, it's good to go. We just need to change this and we just need to change that. And, I brought my price down a little bit here and a little bit there and tweaked it and we negotiated it and I had it to where I felt really comfortable. And then all of a sudden, like, I was speaking to somebody and I'm like, yeah, one of the other employees there that I work with, and I was telling him, how excited I am about getting the train station. And he's like, oh, they didn't tell you yet? I was like, well, tell me what? They're like, yeah, they went with somebody else.
Oh my
I said,
gosh.
yeah. And I was like, wait, what? No, like, what do you mean? This was like I believe this was Friday right before they closed.
Oh, of
And
course.
so I was
Of course.
devastated. I was like, what do you
All
mean? He's like,
weekend?
yeah, I think that, I'm not sure, why they went with somebody else, but they did. And so, I cried myself to sleep that night and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up. And I emailed the CEO on a Saturday, knowing, he's probably not going to answer, but I'm going to email you anyway. And I told him, exactly how it was. Like, hey, like I'm so passionate about this building. I've been working on this for a year. I've had and works
Right.
this contract. We've gone back and forth, and this is mine. This is mine. This is mine. This is mine. I will love every single square inch of that place, and I will, I will give this place what it needs to help it shine, and like I'm what you need. And so I don't
Yeah.
know what's going on, that you need to call me, please, because I'm not taking no for an answer. And I know that's
Right.
really bold to say, but I'm not. So please. And he called me back. He called me
Oh,
and he's
wow.
like, can you come in? Can you come in Monday morning? And so I did. And I was shaking and I was nervous. I was so scared. And he's like, well, he told me that they had chose the lower bid and asked me if I was willing to come down again, which I was not very pleased with, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And I tried to negotiate just a little bit and tweak it a little bit more, but unfortunately, I didn't catch much ground there. But I got the job. It wasn't too terrible, but it was definitely something um, that was different than what I anticipated. Um, you always have somebody out there. You always have somebody out there that's gonna go,
All
that's
over
gonna
the
underbid you, and yeah, just
In all honesty, though, I don't think they could have gotten the same type of excitement and care as someone who like didn't own the building but does own the buildings per se, and responsibility of cleaning. I mean, the respect that is necessary, and I understand they have to go with a lower price, but in the
yeah,
reality, they're picking the preservation of a building
right,
just regular hack cleaning. And I'm not saying that they didn't
absolutely,
promise the same things as you. I'm
right,
saying that you were so
right,
excited by the premise behind the whole history of this building that it would
yeah,
just make sense to give it to you versus someone who is just gonna bang up the wood pieces or not do the polishing or any of the
right,
care and
yes,
maintenance of the
yes,
building. So it's always amazing to
mhm.
me, and it's almost, it's a commercial cleaning, but it's almost like a residential cleaning because there's so much detail that's involved.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there
Oh,
really
yeah.
is.
It's
I
a
mean,
detail. Yeah.
with the chandeliers and all of the intricate woodwork, I mean, you got to get in there and dust it, and it's, like you can't just like run a feather duster along a lot of it because it'll actually get caught in the wood. Like
Right.
the wood will like splinter. It'll get like stuck in there. So you got to be really careful. You got to wipe slow. You got to wipe with the grain. You got to, you just you've got to baby it. You got to love it, and you got to go slow and understand that it's this is.
So how long did you get them to okay, so you got the contract.
Yes, he
How
shook my
long
hand right there, and I was like,
did you make them
like, here's
sign
my
for a
hand.
1 year? Yeah. Yes. Yes. And now you what? Go clean it. How often are you there?
We clean them every weekend, and then we do Wednesday spruce ups. So midweek spruce ups is something that my business has been offering. Clients that do once a week will come in on Wednesdays, and we'll do the bathrooms, and take out the bathroom garbages, and clean the kitchenettes.
Yeah.
So that just kind of keeps their bathroom and kitchen in order instead of doing the full building.
So you're
Um,
basically there 3 times a week, basically. Something.
Twice a week. Twice a week. And so that's kind of like a sell up for me too, is because, it's just a little bit more. We can add this. It's not like adding another full clean, but for just a little bit more, you
Yes.
can have
Yes.
this extra
And
add-on. And it takes us, an hour or two to go in and do the bathrooms. And,
yeah.
it works for me.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I love it.
How many crew members are going twice a week?
So, okay, so it's funny because I hired the 6 people. I said I hired 1 to 2 people. So it takes one person 8 hours to clean the building. So we usually go in a crew of two, and we spend 4 hours there, 4.5 hours.
And that's
Um,
8 hours total for the week, or eight, that's just one shift.
that's one shift. Yeah,
Okay.
that's
So
one shift.
16 hours of labor times 52 weeks. You guys can figure out the math on that. That's fantastic. So, do you only have a solo person or you really are doing it as a team of two?
So I have had done it as a solo person. I had one gal that was doing it that I really trusted, and she really it worked for her. Unfortunately, she's no longer on my team, so I have it split into two at the moment, and I'm on board because I feel
Right.
like I just it's like it's hard to just trust anybody with the
Yep.
building and with the
Well,
account.
or your business, your name, and,
Right.
because nobody will ever do it and love it as much as you will.
That's what I found so far.
And me
Yeah.
too.
When you
Yeah.
landed this contract, were you required to get extra insurance because of the historical value of the building?
No, nope,
Okay.
nope.
And the city's running it or the county's running it?
It's neither.
Oh,
It's yeah.
Um,
It's
wow.
actually it's a historical building, so it does but it is a private business
oh,
Yeah.
wow.
that has the building. Mhm.
That's
That
incredible.
makes
Yeah, it all and it's not functioning as like in the 1900s. It was part of the Pacific Northwest Railway to
Okay.
Yellowstone,
Mhm.
and so it was an active. The train stopped there, and it was a passenger
Oh,
train.
love it.
But
We
now
have
the train goes by every hour still.
Oh,
It
wow.
just doesn't stop there, and so it's wonderful when we're in there cleaning. It's like all of a sudden, here comes the train,
oh
and it's
my
just
gosh.
it's so cool. Everything just like
Yes.
you just feel it. And
Oh, I
it's so
love
and
that.
just on top of it being so beautiful, it's like all of a sudden here goes the train, the chandeliers are
Yeah.
woo!
So I think that as a cleaning business owner, whether it's commercial or residential, I think that we have to have some sort of weird love, not even weird, but a love for structures, for
Yes.
a passion for, oh my gosh, look at this house, look at these floor.
Yes.
Like we have a passion about stuff like that. Uh,
Exactly.
yeah.
We have a lot of historical buildings here in Ellensburg, and I have I'm so grateful to have so many of them. We have several historic buildings that we clean and yeah, we'll have to do another section, Shannon, on how they're haunted, maybe for Halloween.
Oh,
Oh,
Just
there's
the
yes.
actually coming up next month. So if you want to,
yeah, just the creepy things that happen in these old buildings, and
Yeah.
it's just the whole feeling of being in this old building. But I've had some really strange
Oh,
encounters
let's
and
keep it.
things like that. So
We'll
so
keep
this train station is not currently being used by the trains itself.
no, it is
Is there a
not.
train that stops at all there?
Nope, nope, it does not. It's funny because you go out the back and it's set up. It's got an old timey fence, just up right outside where people would normally stand and dock, and board the train. But yeah, no, the train just passes right by it. Yeah, I believe they
Ah,
stopped taking passengers there in the 80s.
Oh,
And
wow. So
yeah,
it had a long
mhm,
run.
yeah, mhm,
wow.
So what do they
yeah,
use it
Oh,
for
so
now? Is it
interesting.
just offices or a conference center? What is it?
yeah, it's offices. Yep, it's offices.
Oh,
Yep,
that's a good idea. Well, good for that private owner, huh? He's
yeah,
renting all those
absolutely.
out. And so they're all different offices, which also can lead you to other people, right? More clients.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely when you're in scenarios like that, I find I always target like real estate offices and stuff like that because I find that I get a lot of clients out of, like if you get one building like you know, of realtors,
Yeah,
all of those realtors,
basically.
they see what a good job you're doing in their office. I mean,
They
you get a
start,
lot more clients there,
yeah,
yeah,
it
yeah.
starts growing. It does. Yeah.
But yeah, I have landed a couple jobs, outside, I find that a lot in my buildings. People will reach out to me from the building that work there, and say, "Hey, we've noticed you're cleaning and, Do you do stuff outside? Do you do move out cleans, or do you do real estate cleans or things like that? And so,
Do you do stuff outside?
oh yeah, I'm not just a commercial cleaner. I do everything. I
Power
do
washing?
no, not outside of Washington.
Oh,
No. No, outside
no,
meaning like
power
outside
washing,
of commercial is what I
right?
was
Power washing.
so, oh no, I don't do exterior cleaning. Sometimes I do. There is a house that I did. I like to I like to transform places. We get
Yes,
a lot of one of the areas where I shine is in transformation, and taking a old, stinky, dirty
the
house that a
dirtier the
tenant
better.
destroyed, and renewing it and restoring it. It's a restoration type cleaning. Um,
Yes.
I do a lot of that. And
You
yeah.
have to be certified there. Here I'm in I mean, way northern. I'm in Humboldt County,
hmm
California. So,
It's different everywhere. Yeah, it's different
right.
everywhere. So, depending on if it's hazmat, or if the different types of cleanings, you do have to have certification. I know in Arizona there's different. I believe you have to have. I know it's just different. It's different
Yeah,
everywhere. Yeah,
in
it's different
every
everywhere.
state,
You always
always
have to check with your city and state, and see what the laws are
it's both.
regarding
Yeah,
that.
both,
Yeah.
both city and
Definitely. In a lot of states, if you're doing restoration and especially mold remediation and that type of stuff,
Mold,
if
yeah.
you touch it, you own it and you can be sued. So make sure that
Absolutely.
if you're
Yep.
considering it at all, make sure you check your local laws and
Right.
make sure that have the proper licensing and insurance.
Absolutely.
I've seen a lot of things go down. I'm like, oh, there's nothing I can
Mhm.
say that's going to make you feel better, except for here's some scotch.
No, no, absolutely. You got to be very careful. You have to you have to have not only the right tools and expertise to do these types of things, but you have to know your laws.
Right.
And yeah, and know, your liability, and especially with employees. You don't
oh,
want to bring employees into a job where, oh hi, by the way, we're gonna go clean some mold today.
Right. Where's your
yeah.
PPE? I don't know.
Yeah,
I
they
didn't
have
have
to be
any.
on board for that, you can't, yeah, they have to be on board too.
No, and there's places where I'll tell them, no, I'm sorry, I can't do it. There's just,
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
I did, yeah,
Yep.
Beyond the scope of
Know
what we
know
can do.
your laws. No,
yeah.
no,
Well,
no
sometimes the
GYA.
homeowner, yeah, sometimes the homeowner or the owner of the building knows the laws. They're just looking to get out of it cheaper than having to
They
pay.
want to do it cheaper than a
And then
remediation
they
company.
just, take us because we're unknowing. What is that? It's not Little Miss Sunshine. What was the other movie that came out in the last couple years where they did dead body cleanup? And
Oh, I
they
didn't
were
see
dumping
that.
everything in the dumpster, and it was like this whole it was two people and they got into cleaning. I don't remember the name, so if you're the audience and you remember the name of that movie, you can go ahead and leave a comment. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but they were supposed to be licensed and they weren't, so they were just dumping all this biohazard into the
Oh
dumpster.
no.
And they were doing it for like, instead of $10,000, they were doing it for $1,000, right? Because they didn't know. No gloves,
Right.
nothing. I'm like, oh my God, that's terrible. But yeah, you definitely need to
Ugh.
the expertise and the licensing and all the requirements so that you're not harming or putting your W-2s in harm's way. Nobody wants
Right.
to be forced to do crazy stuff, especially if it
Right.
grosses them out. Not everyone can handle those types of cleanings either.
No, absolutely not.
It's just
Sorry,
wild.
I have
So you
cats
said
like
you
creeping up.
had other historical buildings. What other historical buildings do you have?
Ellensburg, downtown Ellensburg is full of historic buildings. But I have one in particular that was amazing. It was and I say was is because the building, the business that was in it, they downsized, and they had two buildings side by side, and they all downsized into one. So I lost the one on the corner where they I was
Uh,
so sad because it was an old bank. I believe it was a bank back in the early 1900s. And it has a huge a vault downstairs, like a
Oh,
like a
yes.
bomb shelter. Like
Oh, wow.
yeah, yeah, and it was just this big walk-in vault kind of oh my goodness, it was a creepy basement down there.
You go
But
down. No, you go down. No, you go down first.
yeah, but
Did
you
you
know,
hear that
like
noise?
No,
historical
I really wanna
significance, they
say
had a lot of
that.
historic stuff down there and you know, stuff that you would want to keep in a vault, I guess. And
That's nice.
So are you
yeah.
cleaning the bank vault, what are those? Those lockers for, I mean, are you getting like that detailed?
So you mean in the
In the
vault?
bank? Yeah, in the bank vault, are you like shining the stainless steel? You know?
No, no. So the basement we really didn't. Thankfully, we didn't have to go down there a lot. It was just kind of a storage and that type of thing. But yeah, just the historic building, and just it's again, it was just the intricate woodwork and the chandeliers and the really high ceilings and just yeah, the all of the buildings, a lot of the buildings in town have these tin roofs, like, or tin,
Yep.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about, that
Yes,
old,
I
like,
do.
tin that they have like crown molding, like, what's the word I'm looking for, like intricate.
There's a design pressed into the metal and they're stuck on the roof.
Yes. Oh,
Thank
but
you.
there's
Yeah,
a, what is it?
They're tin
yeah,
roof.
The,
yeah,
Tin ceilings is the not roofs on the outside. Sorry.
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, there's a name for it.
I can't think
yeah.
of it off. You want me to Google it on my phone?
Railing or something like that,
I
or
think so.
but yeah, a lot of the old buildings here have those, and just there's just a lot of old school charm in this
Uh,
place, and so
it's
it's just really
charming.
cool. I
Charming.
always try to go for like those buildings and like, hey, this is,
I
I love
know.
this place so much, and let me take care of it for you, and
And you're emailing them or you're going out and introducing yourself?
so typically, yeah, just introducing myself, going out and introducing myself, and being in the right moment in the right time. And I really try to insert myself into the community. Just Chamber of Commerce,
That's a big
just
deal.
yeah, that's where I feel like I just networking. That's where I feel like I pick up a lot, is that
Yeah.
just
Started
networking, putting myself out there in the community. Um just
doing
and yeah,
things.
you meet people and you find places, and you clean one building and then the other buildings recommend you, and and same with residential. You clean one person's house and they're going to recommend you to their friends, and it's just going to go like wildfire, you
Yeah.
know so uh-oh, what did I just do?
Uh-oh.
Did you guys lose me?
Nope.
No,
I
you're,
lost you.
oh, did you? For a
It's
split
okay,
second. Are we
I
here?
pressed a button.
Don't touch the keyboard.
I seen that I did some research. I seen that you have some uh what are those?
I have no idea. Oh, awards.
There
Yes.
you are.
I think
Gosh.
you nailed that last year, didn't you, Allison?
Yeah, yeah. So both so we won Best of Kittitas County 2024 and 2025 now. And
Oh,
oh,
congratulations.
I'm so excited.
Oh, did
Yeah,
you ever
so
think this little side hustle would turn into something
no.
so awesome?
No. Well, I yes and no. I always dream big. I always dream big, and I envision what I want, and I envision things bigger, and whether my doubts in the back of the head tell me I'm going to get there or not.
Right.
I try to, but yeah, and I it's been surreal, especially this year winning again 2 years in a row. I cried.
That's
I
all I
cried.
bet. Well, I would too.
The local newspaper called me and told me that they had it, that I had won, and they asked me, they're like, "Oh, you made it to the top three. We wondered, if you wanted to write a thank you or, to the community. And I was like, well, I don't know. And they offered me 3 different packages. I could buy like a full
Oh,
back
yeah.
page or, I'm like, well,
Yep.
I really don't want to get a back page if I didn't win. You know what I mean? Like, oh, hi, you won, but here's my back page and I'm in the runner up.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody look at me. I was like, I feel like I'd be stepping on somebody's toes. And they're like, okay, you didn't lose. So it's like, all right,
Oh,
I won't
that's
tell
fun.
anybody until it's time.
That's
Um, so no, yeah,
How
yeah,
long have you been in business now for?
what's that?
How long have you been in business now for?
So I've had my business since 2016. But I started from scratch, not knowing a single person 5 years ago to August 1st. So
Wow. A
so I
good,
basically rebuilt my business here,
yeah, no,
you
a
know?
big expansion though in five
Mhm.
years. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
no, that's great. Good.
Yeah.
You did,
Awesome.
you have made over the hump, the first year hump, the third year hump. Here you are at the 5 year. And
Yeah.
yeah, I know winning awards, coming on the podcast, talking about your successes just
Mhm.
lights that fire. And I like seeing that. I love seeing that, and I think a lot of our listeners are it just will get them all hyped up, you know?
Yeah, well, it's all about what you envision, for yourself and your business, Maybe you just need your cleaning business as a crutch for now. Maybe you just need, clean for the side, but maybe you do have that vision of, what, I want to have significance in this town. I want to be the
Yeah.
cleaning company here. Like I want, like I want big. I want to go big. I want to, reach for the sky.
I was
Um,
the same way. I was the same. I'm the same way thinking as you are. The second that I started this, I was like, oh yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I instantly I knew I wanted employees. I knew I wanted to go big. And
yeah.
exactly what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I feel like you never stop learning. Like there's been so many times like this past, month even where I'm like, I've got to call Shannon. I've got to call Shannon. I got to do one of Shannon's classes. Like I just wing it and I go out there and I do it and I do that whole nosebleed thing that I was talking about. I do a little
Yeah.
bit too much.
Yeah.
I'm a glutton for punishment when it comes to that kind of stuff. I roll with the punches and I just maybe take too many that I don't have to. But so I definitely recommend it, if you can uh, invest into some of Shannon's courses and things like that.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. Yeah, Shannon's been in this business for a long time and she's like the only one. I've taken your blueprint master class and this um uh I think that's the one I took was the whatever the blueprint. But yeah, I really, just looking up to somebody and, I've had to go out and figure out the numbers and figure out things and, where I feel like I could have just reached out. But it's hard, you're a single, like for me, I'm a single mom and, the bills are so expensive and I don't get child support either. So it's just one of those things where I have,
Well,
it's
I
like I
know
don't have
exactly
any
what you
money.
mean.
That's
Yeah, it's a scary to walk through that threshold of
Mm,
trusting in that person to walk you through, like,
mm,
I will help you make you better, but you got to
right.
do exactly what I said.
You
She literally walked me through buying a home.
Wow.
uh, like,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
these are dreams that I could only, hiring, firing, and
Yeah.
growing. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah, you just got to walk through that threshold and trust people that have been through it and
Yeah.
where proof is in the pudding, you know?
Yeah. Shannon, do you offer anything for hiring people for just for like a hiring master class?
Yeah.
There is there's a little mini course. It's the onboarding like a superstar. So when you want to hire somebody,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it doesn't talk about like training. There is a whole
Right,
module and a half inside the structure, scale, and profit Cleaning
right.
Academy that talks all about hiring, training. It comes with a training schedule, all of the bells and whistles
Nice.
that you need, but I don't have anything separate. I've contemplated for a while
Yeah.
of making it into a separate masterclass, but then coming up with the right price point.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's such a big piece of the 12 weeks. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I don't have anything specific. If you wanted something like one-on-one attention, I do offer the 30-day sprint, which is where you would have
Nice.
direct contact with me for 30 days over Messenger. And it's actually really nice because I see people who do that get a lot of results really quickly. So we would just be in
That's
contact.
priceless, really, having somebody there like that. That's genius.
Like
And
I've
that's
hired this and now what do I do here? Or I've done this, what do I this happened, how do I fix this?
what
It
do I
should
do? Yeah.
right, like how do I get this person did this thing and I don't know what to do or say.
Mhm.
How do I get rid of them or what do I do
Yeah.
or what do I say to them? Those all of those things
God.
from all of the crazy experience that I have, right? So
And everybody's gonna need it. Like, I mean,
And
seriously,
then not
everybody
only
needs that.
yeah,
Whether
and
you
then
reach
not
out
just
and get
the
it or
crazy
not,
right.
like, seriously, no, that's
It,
priceless.
yeah,
it's
it's
not just
called
the
a
crazy
30-day sprint.
experience that she's went through, but it's like also, I can imagine as some of her students, I remember whenever I first got work comp insurance and not even like a month into it,
Yeah, thank God
one
she
of my
had it.
one of my
Oh
who
my
I called
God.
first before anybody, before 911. She's on the homeowner's on the phone to 911 as my, you know, employee is sitting there holding her leg. She just broke her leg falling down
Oh
her
my
steps.
It was a
goodness.
90-degree pitch. She fell down.
She just went
Oh
down and
I think she had
the
workman's
the
comp
leg
insurance
went.
for like 5 days. I was like,
Yeah,
thank
no,
God, thank
it was
God.
no.
and
Oh. Wow.
Shannon was the first person I called, not the insurance company, not not my husband, not her husband, not I called you. I was like,
You
"Do
know, they
you
didn't even
believe
drug
this?"
test her.
Yeah, they didn't they did not even run a drug test or anything on her.
Wow.
I mean, we're in Humboldt County, so I don't know. That's just kind of weird to me.
But yeah, I was thankful that she had insurance because then it was able to, take over. And then that house was jinxed anyway. She had
Yeah, we ended
broken,
up
what was
we
it?
were
A
like, we're
shower
good.
door. Something else got broken. I'm like, you need
Yeah, it
to
was. Somebody went,
Oh
"Oh,
no.
clean the shower door," and I went,
it cracked. It
Oh,
like
I was, "Are you gonna
exploded
pay?"
all over the
It's like,
place. I was
"No,
like,
you're
oh,
gonna
this
pay
house is
half for it."
jinxed.
Yeah,
oh my goodness.
you're gonna pay half of that. I wouldn't have known that neither had
Right.
Shannon not told me. That's all. That's so crazy that the things you learn as you go along. But
Right?
yes, that sprint course is awesome to be able to have somebody at your beck and call for stuff like that. Because I mean,
Uh,
she's walked me through everything. Accountants.
Right.
That's going to be a whole
that's
nother.
right.
That's
Of-
going to be a series of three. When Jamie finally gets that all situated, we'll come out publicly and she'll
That's
share
to
her
be to be.
experience
That's
with with the accountant. It's like we're telling
all I
tidbits in the future, but oh my, it's been a doozy. I'm like, oh my God. But
all
yeah,
I kept saying to Shannon is, this going to be a great. I mean, it's really hard on me. Like I'm boo-hooing, I'm scared, I'm panicked and everything, but I kept going, "Hey Shannon, this is going to be a good podcast when this is all said and done."
right. It's been pretty wild. So as far as working with me, like all you have to do, and people roll their eyes. You just have to follow everything I say. If you do I can't do the work for you. You guys do the work. So you have,
Right.
and if you don't do the work, then nothing's going to happen. You're going to be in the same position 365 days later. You won't have moved the needle. But if you follow all of the advice, you
Right.
will take big steps to get you where you want. And I agree
Yeah.
with you, Allison, about how everyone has different goals. Not everybody wants to be recognized with a big trophy.
Yeah.
I hit the 8-figure mark. Yes, we all want to have that at some point,
Right.
but not everyone's goals are the same. So some
Right.
people just want to buy a new car, other people want to buy houses, other people want to invest in property. Some people want to be absentee owners. Some people want to work. I mean, there's a couple girls in some of the groups, I'm sure you've seen them. They've been cleaning for 35, 40 years. I'm like, oh my goodness, but they love it. And
Yeah.
Right.
there's no crime in that whatsoever.
Right.
As long
Hmm.
as you're happy. Life is too short to not be
Yeah.
happy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's
Right.
true. And whether you want to have the full-blown business or just, have a couple side clients and it's wherever you want to go. You're the driver. You're the driver of your own destiny.
Definitely.
And yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Wild, 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 wild. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for coming on. It's nice to finally have you here. And it was fun to chat about the infamous train station. I know there was one point where the train station you had to work on, what was it? It was an unusual request. You had cleaned the train station so well that the floor, not the shoes, sorry, not the floors, the shoes squeaked across the floor. And I remember you reaching out going, what do I do about this
I
too clean? I was like, what?
was like, I've never had a complaint of my work being too squeaky clean.
Right. It was just, what did you end up doing with that?
Oh my goodness. So we went through and just kind of watered everything down because I was like, you know what, it's got to be just too much product on it, too much buildup. So maybe we were just using too much salsa or too much soap or whatever it was. Um, and then so we just kind of went through with just wet pads. And wiped everything down, and then went through again and just used a smaller amount of we
Product.
I don't know if it was when we like when we is that if that's when we switched to salsas or what it was, but it ended up just being, just salsas and water and on the terrazzo flooring.
Yeah.
And it works just it just shines it, and it's like
Oh,
it's not, there's no squeak. And yeah, it's funny because I was in there just about a week ago, and one of the employees there, I just checked in with her like, hey, how's everything looking in here? And she was like, she told me that she loved everything there and everything looks amazing. She's like, I'll never forget the squeak. I'll never forget. And I said, I will not either. I've never had a complaint of my floors being too squeaky clean. I do get compliments on my floors all the time. That's one of my big things is floors. They're so important. Uh,
right.
but
Right. That's what, mwah,
yeah,
that's
that
the,
was the first. Yes, oh.
yeah, that's where it's like, bam,
Yes.
restoration. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you want your floors to go bam, and that's where you get a lot of smiles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you a flat mopper or
I am. I'm a flat mopper. I've been get the it seems like the buildings that I've been getting are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And so I'm like my flat mop dreams are kind of
There's
I
only so much
I
know.
you
I
can
feel
do
like
with
I'm
a flop.
overworking myself. I did get like a bucket for flat mops where you can put a bunch of pads in there. I don't know if that's what it's for, but I've been switching them out and like I don't know, I'm like, okay, now it's too wet, but you could like kind of squeeze them off and but I'm like, maybe I go into, a more of a spin mop thing and so
Rag mop is probably going to be your next step because it
Yeah.
covers more area.
which one?
The rack
A traditional commercial rag mop, they have microfiber, they
yellow
have cotton.
bucket and
I
I
know.
know.
Yeah,
I
I
know.
As
know.
long
And,
as you
and
change the water enough, it's the whole point with that is that when you get your crew in there, they'll only do one bucket for the whole building. I'm like, what are you
right.
doing?
That's what
Yeah, you got to change that water.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, that's, I've never, God, I don't know what it is about those rag mops and the big
I'm not a
yellow.
fan either, but
I
when you have large
know.
properties, you have
But
to.
exactly. And so I actually used one for the first time recently, very recently. And I was like, "Oh, that wasn't bad." Like I look at it. I got done so much faster, and it looks just as good. It looks good. So I was worried that it was gonna streak because
Uh,
if it's too
yeah,
wet, it's gonna streak. And I still have a
it
difficult
there's a
time wringing
technique
it
to
out
it.
enough. And so I feel like I go back and like, once my mop is like dried enough,
And
like
you like
I'll do it
like,
all enough of an area to where it's to that perfect dryness, where you get
yeah,
that
you're
you can start painting it
literally
on,
like,
and then I'll go back to the areas that I did first. I'm like, just stop going back. Just let it dry and see what it looks like.
so you're very much a hands-on owner
Oh, for
still.
sure. Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
Are you going in, checking behind everybody's work and
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
are
there have I can't express enough how important that is. And I've learned my lesson on that recently. Having so many buildings in town now, and I had one of my employees that was just not um started off really good, really pulling her weight, and then she just kind of stopped. And so I checked in on one of my buildings and was just
ah,
mortified at what I saw, and like, you got to be in there. And I'm like, maybe I hire somebody at this point. Maybe this is because I swear I work 48 hours a day sometimes, you guys. I just like go 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 go.
yeah,
And um and um and so I feel like maybe it's that quality control manager or somebody. Like, I'm trying to piece together what that hire looks like, but somebody to like be that, to go in and do quality control, and somebody like, it's time to finally hire somebody for the office that's not actually working out and cleaning, but try to, I don't know what that looks like yet,
yeah,
but
but,
I think it's that time.
yeah, you're yeah,
Mm.
I ch I will tell you this, they wouldn't be paid. I was told they would not be paid, once you got somebody in the office only. They're not making you any money. You're literally just paying them money. So
Right.
maybe a hybrid.
They're not providing income to the business. They're an expense. And as long as they understand that because there always is a hierarchy between the office managers and the cleaning techs and or the office people. And I'm like, you're actually below because the cleaning techs are golden unicorns. They're the ones who generate the income for you, where
Right.
your office staff is an expense. They're a line item on your P&L to help you run that. Typically, you don't need quality control unless you have a lot of short-term rentals. That's the key indicator for short-term rental cleaning.
Right, and I did just land a big contract with a huge one, for short-term rentals. That's my newest one. That's why I've been working like 48 hours a day again, like
So you
just
need to have
overtime.
quality control, like right after they clean and before the guest arrives. That's the sweet spot.
Yeah,
And I can
yeah,
tell you that I'm not trying to give out more information than necessary, but it's
Yeah.
something that I'm almost done working on, and it's gonna like I did a proof of concept. I started a website. I'm actually gonna build a business here, and then I'm gonna sell it in like 3 years. It's all short-term rental hosting and co-hosting. Um,
nice.
that but with the quality control for the commercial buildings, you need to make sure that you're paying them enough so that they take ownership of what they're doing. It doesn't sound like the people that you're hiring are taking ownership of anything. Hence the reason why you're still there helping them. So you
Right,
need to sit there and re-strategize and figure out how you're going to make that happen. And I don't want to make this about a coaching session here on the podcast, but maybe you
right.
can talk privately later
Yeah,
and
sure.
figure out what you need to do real quick over the phone or something.
Cool. Yeah, I would love that. Yeah, for sure. Again, it's one of those things where I said earlier, you never stop learning, and there's always going to be something new. So that's why somebody like you is so valuable, to have, around. That you
I
just
would love that. I would love that too. I would love to be on that call
Right.
because I'm there.
And
I'm
then
there.
there's going to be actual we're starting a premium podcast that's going to be all about short-term rental cleaning. And it's
nice.
not short-term rental cleaning for the person who owns the building. This is geared for us to add an extra source of revenue onto what we're already offering. And I believe I'll be the only one doing it. So I'm pretty excited to have this released
Nice.
in the next week or so. So
Yes.
Now.
Get it,
Now
girl.
you're the only one.
well,
Always
well, the
home.
cat's out of the bag on that one. So yeah, when you're ready, Miss Allison, let's maybe get together and we can spend a half hour and
Thank you.
strategizing for you. And see if
Awesome.
we can get you over the hump. And thanks so much for coming on. I really appreciate
Thanks
you
for
taking
having
the time.
me.
And Jamie, it was good to see you. I haven't seen you in
Oh,
forever. We've had a couple
forever.
off
I'll talk
for
to
one
you in
reason
a
or the
second.
other.
I know. I know.
Anyway,
Allison, thank you so much.
It's a
it's good
pleasure,
to see
you
you.
guys.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye.
All right. Bye.